to reintroduce myself. My name is. Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is. My name is. My name is. My name is. My name is.
Yeah, so it's like, far as with the cigar lounges, and people have their perception on what they should and should not do, as far as going to these cigar lounges and cigar bars. Period. What position that you hold to the point where you're judging that particular person who's decide to get a cigar and smoke it and do whatever they want to do and chill out, and they're under the that's their comfort zone. That's their relief. That's their their stress reliever. And so you see them either post it in their stories, or you see them posted on their page, or people just do it without even posting, but that particular person smokes cigars and drink on something, So who are you to judge that particular person? Because that could be their scapegoat. What they're escaping, at the end of the day, it's none of your business. Because who are you to judge them for how they do their thing? Just because you don't agree with it, that don't mean that they're going to hell. And that's another thing that I feel like people need to just chill off and just, let people live their life. And the thing about it, a lot of those people, they follow Christ. They follow the Lord, and they get it. But at the end of the day, who are you to sit here and judge that particular person because they decide to do that? And if it's no harm, no foul. So what's the deal with why is that a big deal to you? Why is that a big deal to those who decide to either type a message or who decides to DM them like, hey, why are you doing that? You should be living it. Ain't you supposed to be a man of God? And ain't you supposed to be this? And ain't you supposed to be that? Yeah, but I'm sorry to bust your bubble, sir, ma'am, but it's a lot of men of Gods that smoke cigars and do other stuff, because at the end of the day, they're still a man. They're still a woman. Some of them don't post it. Some of them do. But the ones that do post it, they're free within themselves. And then half of them that do post it, they don't care what you think. So whatever you type in, whatever you think, is irrelevant to how they really feel. And the ones that don't post it is because they don't want no negative feedback of how they're entertaining themselves or how they're enjoying themselves. Just because somebody smoke a cigar and chill out, that don't mean they going to hell. That's the last thing on somebody's mind. It's like, show that in the Bible to me, where if somebody light up a cigar and chill out, they going to hell. Or they're not walking that walk that you think they should be walking. The question is, are you walking the walk that you walking? Something to think about. Because the same ones that's judging, that you dealing with something too inside your house. You dealing with something. You trying to deflect off of what you supposed to be doing or what you're not doing, and you too busy making messages and judging. What about you? And the only difference between that sin and your sin, or whatever sin that you just, if you ever decide to put it up under a sin, which I think is ridiculous, is that they posting it, they free with themselves. Are you free? That's the main question. So don't be careful about who you judge and what you do and what you say. Because at the end of the day, you got to make sure you clean. You got to make sure your closet don't have no skeletons in it. Because you may be practicing something right now that you judging publicly. So don't judge nothing publicly and you practicing it behind closed doors, because that make you what? A hypocrite. So at the end of the day, we got to check ourselves and stop being so judgmental on the next person. And that's just not with cigars. That's just within life, period. Who are you to judge somebody? Yes, we all should be living upright. Yes, we should be walking in the Lord. We should be getting better and better every day. And I agree with that. But if somebody decide to do that and they being real careful about it, who am I to judge? Because at the end of the day, I can't judge nobody. I'm far from perfect. So I just believe we all should check ourselves before we sit here and go and make judgment on somebody else and make it public and let it be known, because we are our own worst critics. Especially, like, it's crazy out here. Like, you can't even enjoy yourself as a Christian, as a man, as a woman, not even a Christian. Just, you can't enjoy yourself these days because people are ruthless. You guys are ruthless when it comes to certain things. You can't even post what somebody's marriage is going good, whether their kids are graduating, whether they doing this and that, whatever it is. It's always going to be somebody that's going to have something to say. So what if that shoe was on the other foot? What would you do? Because at the end of the day, while you judging and going off, them people don't care about your opinion, because they so secure within themselves, and they so secure within Christ or whoever they follow. They know at the end of the day, I'm going to heaven, or whatever the case may be. So I just believe we should be careful about what we do, what we say, and stay off of people's pages if you don't know their life, if you don't know their story, if you don't know why they're dealing, you don't know what they're dealing with outside of social media, because everything is a front right now. Everything we want is a perception that everybody wants to believe and think. Some of them is real, some of it they just clickbaiting, or they just looking for attention. But when you know what's real, you know it's real. And just because somebody does those things, that don't make them less of a person. That don't make them less of. So be careful how you judge people.
It's the Social Drinkers podcast.